All right, cool. So I'm about to show y'all, right? Y'all, everybody who said that America is a corporation, you absolutely right, right? This country that we live in is a business. This is a business, right? This country. Okay. And I want y'all to know something. Okay. If you ever call, you hear a lot of people say, yo, I'm a citizen, I'm a citizen, I'm a citizen. I want y'all to know that. Well, let me ask y'all that. Can you be a citizen of a corporation? Can you be a citizen of a business? Let me know in the chat what y'all think. Can you be a citizen of a business? Can you be a citizen of a corporation? If you don't know, the answer is no. You could be a member of a corporation, right? So I want to show y'all this just so y'all know that I'm not bringing this out of my behind. This is actual factual law. So if you call yourself a citizen, you basically are snatching your rights away, right? And you basically a slave, okay? Well, we are consumers, right? In every law, you don't see nobody talking about a citizen. It's all consumers. Okay. And what we got to start to learn is as a consumer, you have rights. And when you start to understand your rights and how to maneuver around here, you're going to understand that the money is limitless. When I'm telling you that it is free bands out here, like it's free bands, right? You understand these consumer laws, you'll be straight. So I want to go ahead and back up what I'm talking about. I'm sharing my screen right now and write this down. So this law right here, which basically defines what America is. All right. So this is 28 US Code 3002. All right, you can screenshot that, write that down, whatever the case may be. This is basically going to tell you, right, what America actually is. So I'm gonna scroll down because I want to go down to definition 15, right? Definition 15 right here. United States. Okay, so United States means a federal corporation, an agency, a department, commission, board, or other entity of the United States. Okay, so basically what that law just told you, and I can't make this up, you could Google it yourself. Okay, this is consumer law right here. What that law just tells you is that United States is a business. And the reason why I want to start this off by just letting y'all understand that is so that you understand the whole thing that, man, you are a consumer. Okay, you stop calling yourself a citizen. You don't got no rights as a citizen. You got rights as a consumer. That's why they made consumer law. Okay, so that's one of them that I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna throw a couple different laws in here as we go through some. But matter of fact, I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more for y'all. Right? How many of you guys on this call have credit cards? How many of you guys on this call have credit cards? Right, I'm gonna do this one and then we could go ahead and hop into another one. Okay, so tell me what's a credit card? Tell me what's a credit card? Talk to me. What do y'all? It's okay. Just tell me what y'all think a credit card is. Right? Is it something that y'all use to spend? You get credit cards used to spend all this other stuff? Shit, I know I used to think it was a credit. I used to think that was a credit card. Right. So I'm gonna show y'all a law. Right. Okay. So y'all think credit is a loan, money based off the credit used to make purchases. Okay, cool. Used to pay anything back over time. Cool. Right. So let's get into what an actual credit card is. Okay. Because I want y'all to think like a consumer right now. So let's actually Google this. I want y'all to write this law down as well. This tells you what a real credit card is. All right. Not what society makes it thinks. So 15 USC 1602. 15 USC 1602. All right. And we're going to go down to letter J. Okay. Here we go. Letter J. So basically it says the term open-end credit plan or open-end consumer credit plan means a plan under which the creditor, which you are the creditor, right, reasonably contemplates repeated transactions, okay, which prescribes the terms of such transaction. Let's talk about this. And which provides for a finance charge, all right, which may be computed from time to time on an outstanding unpaid balance. A credit plan or open-end credit plan, which is an open-end credit plan within the meaning of preceding sentence. So basically, all that stuff means, all right, I want y'all to think about this. Your social security card right now, okay, that's the real credit card. Your social security card is the real credit card. all right? Any type of plate or plastic that you use to go ahead and extend credit. And what I mean by extend credit, when you go to get a car, okay, you show them your social security so that they can extend you credit. You get what I'm saying? When you go and let's use your license plates, for example, right? On your car, okay? When you go ahead and get car insurance, what you got to show them, you got to give them your license plates. Anything that is used to extend credit, y'all, right, is an actual credit card, okay? So I want y'all to understand that, because right now your social security number is connected to the U.S. Treasury. Now, although you can't just go to the U.S. Treasury and pull out bread or anytime that you want, right? You got to go through the process of actually doing. That's why I'm telling y'all that it is unlimited bands out here. That social security card, they call it an open-end credit plan, meaning that it's infinite, it's indefinite, it don't stop. That's the real credit card. Okay, so with that being said, I don't want to go too much crazy. I know this is like, day one for some of y'all, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and slow it down for y'all. And we're gonna take our time with this, and we're gonna break down some things today, and we're gonna learn a hell of a lot tonight, man. So let me actually get in here. Let me get into my Adobe. Okay. Boom. So we lit. All right. So we lit. So I gave y'all that term about with the real laws, and this is the stuff that y'all know, right? So it says, what is credit? Credit is the ability to borrow money or access goods or services with the understanding that you'll pay it back later, right? You get an iPad, right? Or you got a loan and you pay it back over time. Cool. That's extended credit. That's the open-end credit that you have. You can get unlimited amount of things with your credit. Okay. Now, it's something else called credit scores, and these are the things that y'all probably most familiar with, right? Credit scores are used to determine your risk, right, for future loans. That's what they use those three numbers for, right? It's a numerical representation which indicates how risky of a borrower you are to a lender. The higher your credit score, right, the more easy it is for people to lend you bread. Okay, and I know we're gonna get into this later on in the slides, but yes, a high credit score is good, but we really want to make sure that that profile is where we want it to be at. All right, so that's what credit is, and we understand, the credit scores is used. The higher it is, right, the easier people feel when they go ahead and lend you bread. All right, now let's talk about where credit actually came from. So way back in BC times, right, way back then, all right, the first signs of credit was from merchants. Okay, they granted credit to help the customer finance purchases. So y'all probably like, what purchases was made during that time? Well, farmers who needed seeds to plant, to harvest their fruits and vegetables, they will go to the merchant, right, to get seeds and then pay the merchant back from the money they made from the harvest. That's where this stuff, that's like the first instance, right, of actually having credit and it actually be flowing and actually moving along. Okay, so that's actually cool to know. All right, and I want to break this down to, like, I got a couple definitions for y'all, right, just as far as it comes down to credit lingo. So we talked about consumer already. All right, so what we all are, let me know in the chat, are we citizens or are we consumers? All right, we just learned what America is, and we just learned that citizens ain't got no rights, right? We are consumers. Okay, so the definition of a consumer is a person who purchases goods and services for personal use. Okay, and this is cool to know, just so I'll let y'all know ahead of time while y'all on this credit journey. Businesses, and the reason why I preach LLCs and business credit on my Instagram, y'all be seeing me talk about it all the time, is because America, we just found out that America is a corporation. America is a business, y'all, right? So consumers to America, consumers, which are you, the natural person, all right, they understand that consumers want money so they can spend, look what it says, for services for personal use. So you got to think about this, right? If America understand that, right, If they lending money to consumers, are they thinking that these consumers are going to do things to make money back? Right? Do they think that giving money to a consumer and they know they're going to use it for personal use? Are they thinking that if I lend X, Y, Z bread, where they, this going to turn around and make money back? No, they already know that you ain't going to do nothing to make none with the money. You're going to use it to go do what you got to do for your personal gains, which is okay. You're a human. You have to do that. But why I preach businesses all the time, right, is because they understand that, look, they're a business. In America, there's tons of different corporations. You have all these Walmarts, the gas stations, Wawa's, whatever the case may be. Look, they understand if they loan money to a business objective is to make money. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is, yes, we want to go ahead and build up the personal side, but after we finish up building up the personal side, I'm telling you to go get an LLC and build up some business credit, because they're giving out 10 times as much to businesses, which the sole purpose of a business is to make money. They're going to give you more money on the business side, but we need to make sure that this personal side is good, right? Make sense, everybody? Make sense? They're giving out them bands. I'm telling you, they're giving out them bands. All right. So, boom, we talk about consumer, right? Talk about consumer. Now, what a consumer report, right? A consumer report is any written, oral, or other communication of any information by a consumer reporting agency bearing a consumer's credit worthiness, right? Your credit standing, your capacity, your character, general reputation, personal characteristics, or mode of living. All right. So basically, a consumer report tells the banks, the lenders, the credit, or the the grantors, basically what you got going on, right? Tell them if you got negative reports, tell them if you got collections, tell them if you got charge-offs, all of those things. We're going to go ahead and define what those things are in a little bit, but that's what that consumer report is. So it will behoove you, okay, if you have not checked your consumer report in the past couple months, and it's okay if you didn't, because like I said in the beginning, I was that dude too. I ain't checked my credit in probably like 2 years before I started rocking with it. All right. But it's very important that y'all get a hold on that and figure out what's going on. Now, below are some of the places where you guys can actually go ahead and check out your consumer report. Okay. So you got Experian, right? Experian, people familiar with Experian is one of the bureaus, but it also has the place where you can go ahead and watch all three of them. Most popular, of course, is Credit Karma. Right. But I just want y'all to know something about Credit Karma. Credit Karma is an advertisement place. Whenever you go on Credit Karma, what they trying to do, they trying to sell you to get another card. Right. They're trying to sell you to go ahead and consolidate a loan, whatever the case may be. Okay. So I rock with Credit Karma because everybody know about it. But when I'm really, really looking at my credit, I go to something that's called Smart Credit or Identity IQ. These two right here, they tell me exactly what's on my profile, like exactly what's on my profile. Okay. When I first started rebuilding my credit, Credit Karma could only show me two bureaus. Credit Karma was only showing me TransUnion and Equifax, right? But I needed Experian as well. Okay. And some of the scoring was a little off when I was looked at my Credit Karma versus looking at it on my Smart Credit. So for you to go ahead and get precise records, right? Precise things. Okay. I like to go with Smart Credit. The most accurate, definitely Smart Credit, right? Definitely Smart Credit. I was told there was a limit how many times you could check your credit. Is that true? No, it's not a limit on how many times you could check your credit. You could, because look, I'll be real with you, Kayla. I know that's not right because Experian updates every day. Credit Karma, if you go look at your Credit Karma today and then you go look at it tomorrow, they update it every day. So no, it's not a limit on how many times you could check your credit. It's a limit on how many times you should pull your credit for inquiries, for sure. Yeah. But to answer that question, no, it's not a limit. And to answer your question, my Smart Credit or Identity IQ is definitely good. Right. Yep. Smart Credit has an option to show all three. And I got it for the low. Right. Because I got a link, if you want to do it, I got a link that'll make it like $20 for you. Right. Because I think it's like maybe like $30 or one of the options. Because it let you pull your reports whenever you want, but I got a link that'll be able to go ahead and give you a free report every 30 days for you. All right. Boom. When you inquire for a credit card, does it lower your credit number? For sure. Especially if you get denied. If you get denied, it definitely lowers, I think, like 2 points or whatnot. It'll lower it. But we're gonna talk about inquiries and whatnot at the end too, because You shouldn't even be, you want to go into applying for credit cards knowing that you're going to get the card, not just guessing and assuming and praying and wishing that you get the card. Feel me? I want you to be sure that you're going to get this card. All right. So let's talk about some cool things right here. All right. It's called authorized users. Y'all probably heard of this. Some of you guys have probably never heard of this, but if any of y'all parents on this call or family members or aunties that love you the most, they have good credit. And when I'm saying good credit, I'm gonna show you what a good profile is, right? But they don't have no late payments. They don't have no derogatory marks. They have a good, let's say they got a American Express card. They never missed a payment. They had it for a couple years, right? What I would suggest to you is to call your auntie or your uncle or your family member and ask them, hey, for Christmas, can you add me on this American Express card as an authorized user? Because what's going to happen is when you become an authorized user on somebody who has great credit history, you're going to inherit all of their good, data. So for somebody on this call right now who has zero credit, no credit, you can literally skip the line years, 5 years, right? Piggybacking off of your mama, your daddy, your cousin, whatever the case may be. So y'all ever wonder in high school, I went to school with a lot of rich guys, right? It was, yeah, they was rich. Yeah, they was mostly Caucasian, and I don't have no preference. I like everybody, right? But I seen a lot of my high school friends in the senior parking lot have Mercedes-Benz and BMWs. And when I started to realize how they was getting it, because I used to always ask, how are y'all doing it? Because y'all working and playing football just like me. We making the same bread. But bro went to school and he was piggybacking off his daddy credit. That's how he's able to go ahead and get that car. You get what I'm saying? Did any of y'all, the first time going to get a vehicle, they told you that you had thin credit? That was me. When I first went to go get my Honda, they said, bro, you got thin credit. It hit me over the head. But if I was piggybacking off of somebody who had good credit this whole time, right, they would have given me a lower interest rate. Okay. Can I say move also help someone who has existing credit? For sure. For sure. We're gonna talk about that. That's called a trade line. And them things hit. Them things hit. So authorized users and trade lines, they are cheat codes, y'all. You want to get them, but you want to make sure whoever you piggyback off of, that you're not inheriting no bad stuff. Like, I know I'm knocking on wood somewhere in here. That's like, I just want y'all to know, if you get on a card or piggyback off of somebody who has missed payments and late payments and stuff, you're gonna inherit all that bad stuff. So it's like, I ain't gonna use that example, but you're gonna get it. You're gonna get the same effect as them, right? So you want to get people who have, family members, close friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, who have amazing credit, so that you could go ahead and piggyback off of them, and it's definitely gonna boost your score. All right. Next thing is a term. It's called charge off. So we actually gonna look at we're gonna look at a credit report. I'm trying to think if this one has a charge off. The credit report that I got does not have a charge off, but just so y'all know what this is, right? A charge off means the lender or the creditor has written the account off as a loss, okay? And the account is closed to future charges. So basically what happened was when something is charged off, right? That means that you ain't been paying them, right? 30 days went by, you ain't paying. 60 days went by, you ain't paying. 90 days went by, you ain't paying. Now you delinquent, all right? 120 days go by, you ain't paying, right? 180, 6 months went by, you ain't paying. These people calling you, trying to call you, hey, look, you got a payment. I don't know if any of y'all got student loans. If you ask Sally Mae, I know when I was missing payments, or not missing payments, but late on payments, they was hitting my lineup every day. Mr. Haggy, don't forget about us. But when you forget about them and you don't pay them, right? Two things can happen. It can go to collection or it can go to charge off. And basically what a charge off does is they basically write the debt off. Like, yo, I've been trying to reach out to Sarah. Sarah ain't been answering me. I'm gonna just go ahead and write this off as a loss. Now, the cool thing that most people don't know, and I'm giving y'all a bone right now, is that if you ever see a charge off on your consumer report, it's not supposed to be on there. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. When let's just take Bank of America, right? If you had an account with Bank of America, okay, and they wrote it off they wrote it off, they made it a charge off, okay? That is now considered income. When you write something off, that's income, okay? Your consumer report is supposed to only show debt, things that you owe, but they wrote your debt off as income. They're supposed to mail you a form, a 1099 tax form in the mail. So if you have, when y'all get off this call, we probably do a one-on-one or something like that. We look at your report and you got a collection, a charge off in there. I'm gonna ask you, hey, look, did they ever mail you some? Give you a 1099 form? Check your email, your mail, ask your mom, dad, whatever the case may be. And if they haven't, then they're in violation, right? So that's how I'll be getting charge offs off of my clients' accounts, because this is supposed to be income. So how is income being reported on my consumer report when that's supposed to be the things that I owe? Does that make sense? Right? Consumer report shows debt. Charge off is not debt no more because they wrote it off. Feel me? So you gotta know little tricks of the trade with this stuff. All right. So that's what a charge off is. Okay. Now we talked about trade line. Trade line is basically right. Trade line is basically, we talked about it. That's you authorizing using on somebody's account. Now, I'm gonna give y'all some more sauce right now. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all some sauce right now. Y'all want to make money off of good credit? Let me show you how to make money off of good credit. Y'all ready? This is how we make money off of good credit. All right. Let's say I'll fix your credit, or you go to Bob down the street. Bob fix your credit. You get a good trade. You get a good account with American Express. All right. Let's say you paying on them. It's a 91-day rule. I'm giving y'all some sauce right now, but you get American Express. The first 3 months you use it and you pay down to zero for 3 straight months. On the 91st day, you call them and you ask them for a credit line increase. So they'll bump you up. Let's say they started you off with 2,500, then they'll bump you up to probably like 7 bands, 8 bands, whatever the case may be. But anyway, now you have this card that got $8,000 on it. Okay, it got good history on it. Let's say you have this card for 2-3 years. All right, you ain't missed no payments on the card. Okay, and when y'all growing y'all credit, the crazy thing is you're gonna have cards that you're not even using because you got so many different cards to use. I'm in that position right now. But let's say this: you got somebody who wants to go ahead and build their credit up, but they need a boost. Like some of y'all need a boost. You can now charge for somebody to piggyback on your credit. Meaning you call American Express, hey, I got an authorized user that I want to go ahead and add to my profile. But look, you done made a contract up and you charge, let's say American Express lets you put 10 people on that card, on that one card. Okay, one card, they put them on there. Okay, and you charge $500 for each person. Y'all do the math. 10 times 5, 500. That's 5 bands, right? Let's say you get 10 people for $500 to jump on as an authorized user on your account. Now, the time frame from which trade lines actually take place, people usually sell trade lines and they on their account for maybe 60 days, 30, probably I want to say around 2 to 3 months. But let's say that you keep somebody on as an authorized user for 3 months. So now, what? It's 12 months in a year, y'all. I'm giving y'all a play right now. It's 12 months in a year. You do 12 divided by 4. That means every quarter of the year, you have $5,000 coming in, right? From just having good credit. So you do 5 times 4, that's 20 bands. 20 bands just from you having good credit. And to give y'all some clarity, when you put somebody on as an authorized user, or they buy your trade line, whatever the case may be, they don't get access to your card. Like you can have it to where you can get the extra cards mailed to your house. So they not gonna have access to go in Walmart and spend your Amex card or nothing like that. They just are gonna be piggybacking off of that. So what you gotta do is be responsible because you got people credit on the line right now too, right? So make sure you're paying that thing and it's good, but that's a play right there. No, they can't mess up your credit. They don't have access to mess up your credit because they don't have access to that physical card. They can't swipe it. They don't have the numbers for it. They don't have nothing. They are just placed on your account. That's it. That's all. It's like you and your mom being on the same phone plan together. That's all. They don't have access to nothing. They just piggybacking off your good credit. But look, like I just said, that's a play for y'all right there. That's 20 bands right there just from having good credit. We ain't even talking about using the credit to do nothing. That's just extra income. So boom, that's a play right there. All right. Next one, I wanted to bring this up. Maybe some people know about this, maybe some people don't. But it's a term called CPN, y'all. Right? It's a term called CPN. Now, some people be using it to finesse, right? But it's bad. Okay. It usually doesn't work. So basically, what a CPN is, a credit privacy number. Okay. So companies sell CPNs to consumers, and we already know what consumers are. That's you, right? Companies sell CPNs to people, right? To consumers, market them as a way to hide bad credit. So they sell, basically they sell a CPN is something that you can use as a social security number, and basically is going to hide the fact that you maybe have bankruptcies, you got late payments on your real credit score. So when you go apply for, a house or something like that, because you need credit, a good enough credit to get in apartments, jobs, cars, homes, mortgages, whatever the case may be, right? Some people, they illegally do it, but they use a CPN. Now, the CPN could come and bite you in the ass. So this is not the way that we want to go. All right, because banks can tell through screening if you're using one. They could tell if you're using the CPN or not, and they could deny you access to, the funds that you was gonna get or the credit cards that you want. So your best bet is to go ahead and clean up your credit profile. That's your best bet, right? I know people like to finesse, but you can't. It's only so much finessing you could do out here. It's only so much that you could do. So we want to stay away from CPNs. All right. This is actually cool. This right here. And y'all can tell me to, slow down, and y'all can ask questions as we go. I'm Gucci with it. This is something that's called installment accounts. Okay. So you actually want installment accounts on your credit profile. I'm be real. You need to accrue some type of debt, all right, to get along in life, to get through life. You won't have to do it, right? That's how the world actually maneuvers, through debt. But installment accounts is a type of loan where you borrow a certain amount of money, right, all at one time. So example, your student loans, right? Example, your auto loans, example, your credit cards, right? All those things, okay? Those are the things that you actually need to actually have a installment loan. So basically what happens is you have a set time, right? You have a set day for when you need to actually pay these things, and you get it going. So like we said, auto loans, student loans, and mortgages, those are installment loans. Revolving accounts, right? Revolving accounts is a form of credit issued by a financial institution that provides the borrower, which is you, with the ability to draw down or withdraw, repay, and withdraw again. So think about your credit card, right? You got a $2,000 limit, but this month you might use 500, and you pay the 500 back. Now you got $2,000, good, right? Then next month you might use 1,000 of it. You pay 500 back. Now you got 1,500 to play with out of 2,000. So it's revolving. So that's why they call it revolving account. And those are your credit cards. All right. I just took out a student loan recently, and planning out how to pay it back. Never took out a loan before, so this place seems useful. Yeah, I mean, if you just took out a student loan, it's different things that you can do with it. Shout out to Joe Biden for he pushed it back, I think, to May, to where people who graduate don't got to pay back the student loans still. So that's actually cool. We gave people some time, but I got so much shit in my head, like give y'all so many plays. But with the student loans, man, for anybody who on here who graduated from college, right, and you got all them loans, probably like 8, 9 loans at one time, I say that you consolidate them. This is just, I'm only giving you stuff. Like, of course, you do what you want to do. You consult with whoever you need to consult with. Best advice for you. But student loans, because we on this topic right now, when you have student loans, every semester that you go to school, they give you a new student loan. That's why if you go look at your credit profile right now, you got 6, 7 different loans from school, right? So every semester was a new loan. Every loan has a different interest rate. One interest rate might be 4%. One interest rate might be 5%. One interest may be 4.5%. So you got all these different loans with all these different interest rates, right? Other thing is, if you miss a student loan payment, that shit is going to drop your score. The reason why it's going to drop your score if you miss a student loan payment is because if you miss one payment, that one payment is responsible for 9 different loans. I don't know if y'all realize that. If you miss one payment, that's basically you missing out on 9 payments. Okay. And yeah, you don't have to start paying till you graduate, for sure. You don't gotta pay your loans till you graduate, right? But just giving you all that information. So when you consolidate a student loan, you guys, and there's plenty different things you can do, but when you consolidate a student loan, number one thing, beautiful thing that it does, if your student loans was in the gutter, meaning that you missed a lot of them, or a lot of payments, when you consolidate your student loans, all right, it's going to take them out of default. Another thing that is going to do, right, the Department of Education pays all the student loans that you had, all 9 of them, right? They pay them off. So those 9 loans basically looked as if they were paid off, which is cool, okay? They put all the loans into one loan. So now you have one loan with one interest rate with one payment, right? So if you miss one, it's better than you missing, one payment count for 9 payments. Just miss one, okay? But after you go ahead and consolidate the loan, then you go ahead and enroll into an income-driven repayment plan. We call it an IDR. And this is where you could go ahead and basically, if you work for, if you're a nurse, a cop, whatever the case may be, you could get your student loans forgiven in 10 years, right? Most people who enroll into an income-driven repayment plan, they got to get them forgiven in 20 years. But it's the kicker, right? It's the kicker. The way that income-driven repayment plans work, they look at your dependents, they look at your household size, right? And they look at how much income you're making. So if you're somebody on this call that, maybe you're not making that much, or maybe you are making okay money, but you got dependents, children, all that good stuff, okay? They'll give you a lower payment. I know, bro, I was just on the phone with one of my bros last night, and we went over to play, and they said that he only gonna have to pay $25 for the next 20 years on student loans. Y'all understand? Like, this man owes over $60,000 in student loans, but for the next 20 years, which is 240 months, he only got paid $25. So you do 240 times 25. That means he only got to pay $6,000 out of his $60,000 of student loans. That means they're gonna forgive him $54,000 of student loans. That's why I'm giving y'all this play right now. Bing bong. Yeah, that's what they say, right? They be like, bing bong. Feel me? Like, you gotta get with it. You gotta get with it. All right. So boom, that's installment accounts and that's revolving accounts. All right. So I know this is which I was asking about, inquiries. Okay, inquiries. So inquiries is a credit check. All right. So when you go ahead and do something, okay, when you go ahead and actually apply for something or you ask for something, right? That's when you get an inquiry. Now, it's 2 types of inquiries I want y'all to know. It's something that's called a hard inquiry, where they pull your report and it actually shows on your consumer report. And it's something that's called a soft inquiry. So an example of a soft inquiry, this Airbnb that I'm in right now, this was a soft inquiry on my business. Feel me? So it didn't pop up on my business report. This was a soft inquiry. Another example of a soft inquiry, when you go ahead and get a phone, right? I think I went to Sprint when I got this business phone in Sprint. That was a soft inquiry, right? Let's see, another example of a soft inquiry, right? We talked about the rent. Okay, another example of a soft inquiry, like when we talked about looking at your own consumer reports, right? So when you order your credit profile, right? That's a soft inquiry. It's not going to show up on your personal credit. So those are soft inquiries. Hard inquiries, you go to the car dealership. That's a hard inquiry. Hard inquiry, you applying for a credit card. Hard inquiry, you applying for an auto loan. Hard inquiry, student loans. Those are hard inquiries. Okay. So I actually want to touch on something. Y'all might have seen me post this on Instagram the other day, but I'm actually showing people how to get paid for inquiries. Okay. So I posted it on Instagram. I just run the play for y'all real quick, right? You go to the car dealership, you go to Chevy or Dodge, right? They pull your credit, but you wake up the next day and you see that you got 7 different, 7 different inquiries from from going to get your car. All right. What's going to happen is facts. Going to be 20 hard inquiries. What happens is though, you can actually get paid for every one of those inquiries. The reason why you could get paid for every one of those inquiries is because you did not grant access. Okay. You did not give consent to all of these different banks to run your credit. Okay. So it's actually a law, right? It's actually a law. And let me pull it up. It's 15 USC, right? 15 USC 1681. Let me actually pull this up. I told y'all we're gonna have laws in here, man. This, like, I don't just fix credit. I get people paid. It's called remedies, man. See, the government knows, right? The government knows that these bureaus and these people out here is tricking people out their spot. So they put these laws in place so that you can get paid. But if you don't know how to get paid, then it's over, right? If you don't know how to get paid, then it's over. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Look at this. All right. So this is 15 USC code 1681N. Civil liability for willful non-compliance, right? Willful non-compliance, okay? So it says any person who willfully fails to comply with any requirement imposed under this subchapter with respect to any consumer, which is us, right, is liable to that consumer, right? So anybody who doesn't follow what's going on in this subchapter right here, right, with respect to me, right, is liable to me in an amount equal to the sum of, right, any actual damages, right, any actual damages sustained by the consumer, okay, as a result of failure, or damages not less than $1,000 and not more than in 1,000. So right there, what that means, any actual damages. Let's talk about that. I'm about to give y'all some sauce right now. When they mean actual damages, they don't mean that you got a broken arm or your car broke down. Damages could be, damn, I wanted to go get a house, but I want to go get a freaking credit card, but now I can't even get the credit card because freaking Chevy done ran my credit 20 times. Now I'm losing out on money. That's damages. So bro, you need to run me my remedy and you need to pay up. I'm sending you an invoice for $1,000. I'm telling you. So if they ran your credit and the bank that you went with, cool. That inquiry is connected to that account. I ain't going to dispute that. But the other ones that's not attached in none of my open accounts, you got to run me my bread, bro. This is law, y'all. I can't make this up. They know this too. They know this, right? Another reason, in the case of liability of a natural person, right, for obtaining a consumer report. So this means, okay, in the case of a natural person, M&T Bank, you went to Chevy, but M&T Bank is pulling your score, but you got the loan from Capital One. So M&T Bank, who told you guys to obtain my consumer report, right? So look, it says, in the case of liability of a natural person for obtaining the consumer report under false pretenses or knowingly, right? Or now they got it falsely, like they did it behind your back. That's what they mean, false pretenses. Or knowingly without permissible purpose. Do y'all know what permissible purpose is? Permissible purpose means that I'm giving you the okay to actually pull my credit, right? So let me ask y'all, anybody who went to go get a car, did you give them the okay to run your credit or to give 10 different banks, right, the green light to run your credit profile? Let me know in the chat. If anybody got a car in here, right? If anybody got a car in here, did you give all them different banks the okay to run your credit? Fuck no. Hell no. So guess what? Run me my bread, bro. Run me my bread. This how I fight. This how I fight. This how I fight the bureaus, bro. This how I fight and win, bro. This how I get people scores up. I know the laws. All right. So that right there is 15 USC code 1681N. Boom. Y'all have fun with that. Make some bread, make some money. All right. How far can you go back with that? No, they do it while test driving their car. How far can you go back with that? Man, you can go as far back as you want to. I want y'all to know, us as consumers, we got so many rights. once you understand your power, you're gonna be straight. You're gonna be straight. Once you understand your power, right, you're gonna be straight as an individual. Okay. So we talked about inquiries, negative accounts. Of course, common sense, right? Negative accounts, anything derogatory or delinquent. For example, late payments, collections, charge of, bankruptcies, repossessions, right? Now, bankruptcies showing up on your account is actually illegal. Repossessions showing up on there, you could get them off, okay? Positive accounts, right? Opposite of a negative account, account in good standing, meaning you don't got no late payments, right? You don't got no late payments, okay? Boom. All right, closed accounts. A closed account is an account that's no longer reporting due to it either being paid in full, which we talked about. If you got student loans and the Department of Education paid back the whole student loan, well, guess what? That's a closed account. All closed accounts don't need to be negative. There could be positive closed accounts, right? But 9 times out of 10, people be having closed account that have been flagged for collections and charge-offs. So that's the example of closed account. Open accounts are accounts that are actively reporting to your credit profile. You want to have at least 3 of these. You want to have at least 3 open accounts right now, right? Sometimes our credit scores are low because we don't have enough beef on them. So you got what they call thin credit. You want to beef up your profile, all right? Collections accounts, collection account is when a payment fall behind. The creditor, this is how this works. The creditor sells the debt to a collection agency or debt buyer, all right? So this is the biggest misconception for everybody on this call. All right. I'm not even going to ask you. I'm going to tell y'all right now. If you have an account, right, what's the difference between a charge off and a collection? So the charge off is basically when the company writes it off, right? The collection is now the company went delinquent and they still trying to go ahead and get, their money from you. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. The charge off, they write it off. They supposed to send you a 1099 tax form, and you're supposed to go ahead and file that 1099 in with your taxes for the tax year. That's how they basically settle that. But when something is in collections, that means that creditor, right? Let's just use Sprint for example, right? You ain't paid Sprint, or you had a lease with Sprint, you ain't giving back the phone. Now they looking for that money back. They send that account to collection, and now they on your phone trying to go ahead and actually sick you out for the bread. So that's the difference between the two. But what I want y'all to know is, right, I don't want y'all to ever pay your collections. When these people start to call you and send you mail, they need to prove to you that you owe that bread. It's steps to this. It's levels to this shit, right? Whenever you see a collections, I need you to prove to me that I owe the bread, because yeah, you may know personally that you fucked up, but they don't know that. It's up to them. It's in their power, because you knocking on my door telling me that I owe you $600. I want y'all to think about this. Say you in your house, right? Imagine somebody knocking on your door like, yo, bro, you owe my roommate $500. You're gonna be looking at bro in the door like, what you mean I owe your bro $500? Like, get out of my face, bro. Like, if they can prove that I owe your man's $500, then okay, I'll think about paying them, right? But 9 times out of 10, the way that these debt collectors and collection agencies go about things, right? Sometimes they can't prove that you owe it. That's how you could get it off. That's how I fight people's credit, right? That's how I fight for people. So we don't really like fighting. And knowing what I know now with the laws, I'll be waiting for somebody from a collection agency to call me. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be waiting for the collection, bro. If you know the laws, you're gonna be licking your chops every time the collection agency call you. Seriously, because every time they do something, they violate the law. That's $1,000 every time. I'm gonna give y'all one example, right? There's a law that basically that deals with the collections and the debt. There's a law that basically states if they call you during a non-convenient time, they owe you bread. They're not supposed to call you at work, and they're not supposed to call you. Right, they assume, right, that that you were free anytime. I want to say from 9 to around like 8 p.m. at night, right? So I'll give you an example. If anybody on this call who considers themselves a business owner, right? If anybody that considers themselves a business owner on this call, it's inconvenient all day to call me, because I'm work from home, bro. I work from home. So you calling me and I'm handling business. You calling my cell phone and I'm handling business. This is an inconvenient time that you calling me. I'm gonna send you an invoice over for the rack. Come on now. Come on now. I gotta stop playing with this shit, man. I told y'all gonna learn something tonight, man. I told y'all gonna learn something tonight, man. Come on now. For real. Even if you're not a business owner though, how they know that you're not on your way grocery shopping with your kids when they call you? They don't know. They assume that you're free. Come on now. Come on now. I gotta play this game, man. You gotta play this game now. So this is the big three right here. All right, these are big three. This is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. All right, these are the ones that most people are aware of, but there are over 70 different credit bureaus, right? Like LexisNexis is one of them. They got the bankruptcies on there, right? If you ever go bankrupt, I know somebody who went bankrupt, LexisNexis is basically holding that info, right? There's another one called Sage Streams Check Systems. Now, I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm not saying that none of y'all ever did this, but if any of y'all ever pop cards or you did the scam job before, right? When your account, when it's in default, because you put a fake check in here and you took the bread out, you know how that joint go, right? Whatever the case may be. Your account, you think that everything is okay. Yeah, they just gonna close my account. But what really happens is they report that negative account to something that's called check systems. Check systems is basically what the banks use to grant you access to opening a checkings or a savings account, y'all. So if you ever know somebody who used to pop cards and they can't get access to a bank account, it's because all their negative information is sitting right inside of check systems. So when they go ahead and it's time for them to get a new card, they can't get none because the bank is just referencing this bureau. But you ain't gonna be able to tell that account is on there because it ain't showing the Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It's showing on check systems. Slitty is a bureau for everything, right? Is a bureau for everything. All right. So it's up. Okay. It's up. All right. So we're moving along here. Promise you we almost done. All right. Promise you we don't. Almost done. But I wanted to basically talk about on this slide a credit profile versus a credit report. I wrote here, I said, I got people with 680s getting higher limit to 700s, and it's because of their profile. So I want some of you guys to know, right? Yes, you probably don't got none on your profile. You probably got a 700. Cool, but your profile is thin. You probably only got student loans, okay? And I want to basically give you guys what makes up your score because you got to beef it up. These 5 things make up your credit profile. So payment history, that's the biggest one of them all, right? Even if you don't got it all to pay the card, even if you don't got it all to pay the card, you pay the minimum so that you don't get a late payment. All right. Now, this is 2 things, matter of fact, 3 things that I want y'all to know about y'all credit cards. Write this down. Tonight, if you have a credit card, I need you to go inside of Experian, log inside of Experian tonight. If you have a credit card, log inside of Experian tonight, or go inside of your credit card account, the mobile app that you have. I need y'all to get these 3 dates down. I need you to get your due date down. I need you to have the due date. This is going to help you out. I need you to have the due date, and I need you to have the statement date, or they might call it the closing date. I need you to have that due date, and I need you to have that statement date. And then I also need you to maybe go on Equifax and you can see the reporting date. So remember, it's 3 things that you need to know about every single one of your credit cards moving forward. I need you to know your due date. I need you to know your statement date, and I need you to know your reporting date. That's what you need. This is why I'm telling you that you need that, okay? You need the due date because you need to pay that so that you don't accrue interest. You ever see when you open up a card, be like 25% APR, 12% APR, whatever the case may be, right? The reason why that APR is there, whatever the case may be, is because if you miss a payment, they're going to tax on that 25%. So let's say you got $100 that you spent on this credit card, but you late, you ain't paid on the due date. Well, now they're going to go, okay, $100 times the 24.9%. Now you owe $124. Okay. And you need to pay that before it gets to that reporting date. But let's get to this. I want you to understand this. So we got the due date. The due date, you know, the due date is going to help you not pay interest. Okay, if you're paying it down to zero. Okay, you know, when the statement date is giving you that window to know, okay, even if I'm late from the due date, I got up until that statement date to pay it. Okay, the reporting date is when it's going to reflect on your Credit Karma. The reporting date is when it's going to reflect on your Experian, on your TransUnion, when it's going to reflect to the banks. So you need to know this, because during that time frame of the due date to the reporting date, you don't want to use the card. That's why you want to have more than one credit card. Okay, from the due date to the reporting date, I don't want to use my card. I'll give you an example. I got American Express, Chase, Capital One, all of them, but I'll give you these two. I actually got it written down because I know when to use my cards and when not to use my cards. Okay, so for example, let's use Capital One. Okay, Capital One was my first ever card I ever had using credit. I started off with a $500 balance and I paid it off. I used it to pay my phone bill and stuff. They upped my credit score to like 5 bands, but I figured this out late, right? My due date every month is on the 4th. So every month, so January 4th is my due date. That's when I got to have that Capital One card down to zero. Okay. So from the 4th to I want to say the 9th. The 9th is the statement date. Okay. So that's or the close, right? The closing date. They call it statement close, whatever cases be. But that's basically the time frame that you have to pay this card down to zero from what you used the previous month. On the 10th, it reports to my credit. Okay. So from that time frame, from the 4th to the 10th, I don't use my Capital One card. From that time, from the 4th to the 10th, I use my American Express card, because my American Express card is due later on in the month. See, my American Express card is due, I believe, on the 19th. I think it's on the 19th. Might be the 19th, right? Or the 16th, one of those. I think it's the 16th. So the due date for my American Express is the 16th, right? My statement date for American Express is the 19th. It reports on the 20th. So now I know those 2 dates, so I'm more flexible with my spending. Okay, cool. I'm being strategic with my money now. Okay, cool. I use the Capital One at the end of the month. I use American Express in the beginning of the month. That's how you do it, right? And if you really want to get tricky with it, you can hide your utilization, but we ain't even going to get into all of that. All right. But look, we got payment history in there. We just figured out, what if you only have one? If you only have one card, then you can't use that card. You can't use that card from that time frame, the natural green. Because I'm gonna give y'all the reason why you don't want to use the card. Let's say that you spent the $100 on a $500 card. Cool, right? You spent the $100, then you paid it off on the due date, which was, let's just use mine. Let's say I paid it off on the 4th, but then the 5th and the 6th, I started using the card again. Well, guess what? That just erased all the shit that I just paid off. So when they go ahead and report on the 10th, now it's showing that I just spent $200. But then I'm getting frustrated with myself because, bro, I just paid this card. You get what I'm saying? So you don't want to even touch the card during those times. It's off limits. So to answer that question, that is the only time you should be using your debit card. The only time you use your debit card is when your cards are in the frame where they're reporting. That's the only time you use your debit card. Other than that, you're using credit, y'all. You're using credit. I don't swipe my debit card at all. At all. Why? I'm accruing points when I'm doing it. I'm getting free travel when I'm doing it. Yo, I just got freaking $500 back from Chase. I'm used 250 for that for a Christmas gift. I use the other 250 to go ahead and pay off the Chase card. Easy style. But you use the credit card. You only use the debit card when your cars is in those reporting time frames. That's it, right? And you should have money to pay off the credit card because you spending wisely. So if you was going to spend $100 using your debit card anyway, you was going to spend $500 using your debit card anyway in that week time span. So why not just use the credit card? It looks good that you're using the bank's money and you're showing that you're paying it off. They're going to give you more money. Then you just go ahead and use the $500 that you was going to use anyway and pay off the credit card. It's a no-brainer. It's really a no-brainer. All right. So boom. Utilization is the next one. Okay. So we're going to talk about utilization. So usually you want to keep your utilization under 30%, right? You want to keep it under 30%. All right. And the trick for this though, because 30% is the average, right? But the trick is keep it below 2 to 9%. If you just building credit, I want you to get used to paying it all down to zero, right? I know this is for new people. If you're brand new and you're building out your credit, get used to paying that whole balance off. It's going to create discipline for you. I know it says 2 to 9%, but if you brand new, you just now getting into this game. You got to go ahead and build up your stamina with this. So just get used to paying what you owe. And then after you go ahead and get yourself underway and you're disciplined, then you go ahead and keep it from 2 to 9%. But by that point, you're going to have so many different cars, you're going to be Gucci. So we want to have a utilization of under 30%. Now, the goal, y'all, is to have big limits of credit. Like we want to have big lines of credit. Reason why we want to have big lines of credit, because that 30% is going to be more flexible. For somebody who right now who only has $1,000 in credit, your 30% means that at the end of the month, when the statement comes out or the reporting date goes to the credit bureaus, that you only own $300. All right, $1,000 times 30%, $300. Okay, but let's say that somebody has $10,000. Your 30% is 3 bands. You got more money to actually, maneuver and do things with, and it won't kill you over the head. Now, if you want to get saucy with it, if you want to be lit, right? If you got $1,000 card, you can use the $1,000, but just make sure during those due dates and stuff, if you want to get some good points, pay it down to 2 to 9%. That's how we work with it. All right. Age of credit, you usually want over, 4 to 5 years for it, but hey, this is probably the only thing that, everything takes time, but this is the only thing that you can't really control other than you just having credit. So that's why it's best to start to, have some type of credit as soon as possible. Start establishing credit as soon as possible, man. Right. Another trick, if you did want to go ahead and up the age of your credit, is by adding a trade line. Right. Let's say that you have a year worth of credit, but somebody, your mom or your dad have, 15 years worth of credit. You go ahead and jump on as authorized user. Their 15 years is going to be merged with your 1 year, and they basically go ahead and divide it and give you, basically an average sum of how long you had credit for. So that's how that works. Types of accounts. We just went over that. That was revolving, which is, credit cards, and then you got installments, which is the loans. And then, 10% of your score is made up off of inquiries, new credit. So you do want to have inquiries, but we want to make sure that we get in the inquiries because we know that we're going to get a card. So I got a couple cards that at the end of this slides that I know that y'all can go ahead and get in with the correct scores or whatnot. So we lit. All right. So I'm about to show y'all something. This is actually cool, right? This is all Credit Karma. I did this because most people have it. So I want to show y'all what a good profile is. Right, with a good profile. So the one on the left, this is a good profile. This is a profile that got 100% history, right? Credit card utilization is 6%, which is cool, right? Is in that 2 to 9%, right? 100% payment history means that they did not miss a payment. It got 0 derogatory marks, meaning there's no collections or charge-offs on there. Age of credit is 5 years and 9 months, which is amazing. Total accounts, you want to have over 10 of them. Okay, but he got 17 hard inquiries too, which is amazing. Now we got this on the right hand side. This isn't too bad, y'all. This isn't too bad, but this payment history is 97%. Okay. You don't want to have no late payments on there. A perfect profile, no late payments, right? 15% car use is not bad. It's under 30. It's close to that 2 to 9. We're getting there, right? Only one derogatory mark that could definitely get taken off, right? I'm working on getting this derogatory mark off of this person's report anyway, right? Age of credit age, 4 years, 9 months, on the brink of having 5 years, which is going to boost the score. Total accounts, 15, lit, hard inquiry, 0. The reason why this person has 0 hard inquiries because we waiting for this derogatory to come off and these late payments to come off. Then we're going to go ahead and run a play and get funds. Okay. So do y'all see the comparison, the difference between, a great account and something that needs to have work on? So now tonight, when y'all go ahead and look at y'all credit profiles, you guys have an understanding, right? You guys have an understanding of what's going on. All right. You got to understand where you stand at. All right. Boom. So this is just a foundation. This is a perfect profile, right? You want to have at least 5 years of history. You want to have a minimum of 5 credit accounts. Okay. And we wanted at least 3 of them open because that shows the lenders how you pay today. All right. So somebody asked you, what if they old accounts? It's cool that they old accounts, but I want to have something that's showing how I'm paying today in this current time. So I want at least 3 of them open. Okay. Minimum credit cards, right? A minimum of 3 credit cards. We said that with at least $2,500 limits. It's not hard to get limits of $2,500. Of course, you just got to build it up. All right. Less than 10 inquiries and less than 2 inquiries. Now, I know you're probably going to have more than 2 inquiries, which is not bad. Right? I know you probably have more than 2 inquiries, which is not bad, but you want to make sure that you spacing these things out. I've seen things where, and it's okay, like nobody's wrong for this because we all learning, but I've seen, people, when you have too many inquiries, you look thirsty. Like if it's September and you got 9, 10 inquiries in one time, then the reason why you're not getting, even if you got the credit score too, this is crazy, but even if you got the credit score, but you got all these inquiries, they're going to flag you because you got so many inquiries. So we just want to make sure that we getting those inquiries removed from our accounts, all right? And that we actually we're pre-qualifying for cards and making sure that we can get the card before we actually apply. So now I don't got to go ahead and use one of my cards for no reason. Feel me? 2 to 9% utilization is Gucci, and then no late payments. Now, I know that I said this is just a foundation. This is somewhere for you guys to want to be or want to get to so that your stuff is Gucci, right? So that you confident in yourself and the things that you can do, right? Everybody probably not going to have exactly what I'm showing you right now, but it's a good basis to actually go off of, okay? So I'm gonna show y'all how I be doing it, man. This is actually cool. This section right here, you definitely want to pay attention to. Definitely want to pay attention to. All right. So this is how to read a credit profile. Now, we got the creditor right here, right, which is Capital One. This is the person who I extended my credit to, and I was able to go ahead and receive credit. All right, Capital One. Okay. They call them lenders, grantors, furniture, all that good stuff, right? Capital One. Now, I blurred out the account number for security reasons, for security purposes, because this is somebody's actual account, right? But let's get to how we actually read this thing like a pro. So when I send y'all the link for the smart credit so that y'all can get y'all credit profiles, this is how we're gonna read this thing if we hop on the phone and we see what's going on. All right, first thing we do is we look at the high balance. So basically what the high balance means, this is basically telling you the highest that this account has been to. Right? The highest that this account has gotten to, okay? That's all it's telling you. Last verified. So this one says 11/09/2021, which means November 9th, 2021, but these two is not showing. So it's gonna be easy for me to dispute this, but I want y'all to know across all 3 boards, the credit bureaus are supposed to be the same, but they not, right? There's a lot of inaccuracies on a lot of people's consumer reports, and that's why credit is never gonna die. That's why credit repair never gonna die. That's why I actually love what I do, because I'm helping people get to that bag. I'm really freeing people for sure, because this type of stuff people don't know, right? Next thing, date of last activity. So this just tells you, I want y'all to look at this. Different date, different date, different date. This is gonna be a walk in the park for this account, right? Date open, this tells you when the day that you opened the account, right? Again, we see inaccuracies. How this shown the 29th, 6161, inaccuracies. Balance owed. So this is cool to know too. If this card was maxed out, because we know that this is a credit card because it's telling me the account type, this is a credit card, and it's giving me a credit limit. It's telling me, all right, this Capital One account is a credit card, and this Capital One account on this credit card is a $2,200 limit on there, right? Now, if this card was maxed out, I will be able to tell because it would show here in the balance owed. So right now, this is good. You see, the people that I'm helping build their credit, they're listening to what I'm telling them, because this person is building credit anyway. So I've told you, when you building credit off, you want to start to learn how to pay things off. And it's also going to help your score go up because your utilization is going to decrease, right? So this person don't have no balance, which is beautiful. I like it. Okay, so they good on that end. All right. Payment status is current. This account is current, right? It's not a delinquent account or anything like that, but this is a derogatory account. Why? This is why this is a derogatory account down here. Y'all see how these boxes got okay, okay, okay? That means that the payment was good across all of these months. But if you come here, and this March has a 30 days late, this February is 30 days late, right? Across all of these. Okay, and I already see something else that I can actually dispute as well too. But I just want y'all to know that this means that this payment was paid 30 days late. Okay, so what I do, if you have this type of situation right now on your credit profile, I go in there and I get these late payments taken off, because technically, to the law, they not supposed to have late payments shown to your credit profile anyway. Your credit profile, man, listen, your consumer report is not supposed to show any type of transactions that happen, right? But you grant them without the written consent of you. The only way they can show transactions is if you say, yeah, that's mine. So I'm gonna actually fight this and get these late payments taken off. All right. So that leads me to this, right? In the bio I sent y'all, basically was talking about how to actually get the basis of things. And then I talked about helping y'all read a consumer report. And let me actually go back. And I said I was gonna show y'all 20K play, but before I go any further, talk to me, how you guys feeling about the information so far that's given? Anybody got any questions on anything that I just showed you guys so far? Y'all feel like y'all learning, we getting there? Bet. Appreciate it, for sure. All right, so let's get right with this 20K play, man. Let's get right with this 20K play. So the purpose of this is to basically get you guys to a point where on your personal side, you could get up to 20K and more on the personal side. Now, I want to tell y'all something, right? If you run this same exact play on the business side with your LLC, I promise you that you could get at least 100K on the LLC side too. And I'm gonna give you guys some more sauce. You can have more than one LLC. So for example, I got the Run with Haggy, but that's my credit repair, right? These Airbnbs are about to go under another LLC that I got. Reason why I'm putting these Airbnbs, right, under more than one LLC is because let's say something happens with this property that I'm in right now. And for instance, they put a lawsuit against my LLC. If I got all of my properties under one LLC, guess what? They could come for all my shit under one LLC. So I have multiple LLCs so that when I get my actual real estate property, right? If a lawsuit comes out, and I pray to God that it don't, because I'm a good person, right? That they can't take all of my properties. They just gonna come after that one LLC. Y'all get what I'm saying? Other benefit to that is I can run the play with all of my LLCs and get up to 100K on all of my LLCs. If I got 5 LLCs, bing bong. Come on now. If I got 5 LLCs and all of them get funded up to 100K, that means I got half an M right there. Now, you gotta do something with it. You gotta do something with it. People I'm helping get bread, you gotta be hustlers, because we ain't about to just get this money and not know what to do with it. I did that already. I made over $250,000 and did not know what to do with it, if I'm being very transparent with y'all, right? I was buying clothes and shit, wilding, right? Bro, listen, next time y'all coming to, man, I don't want to talk about it. Nah, we ain't about to talk about it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. So look, step one, step one, all right, this is for my people, okay, who have little to no credit. This is how we rocking, all right? We want to start off with level 1. These are your starter cards and credit builders, okay? So for the starter cards and the credit builders, there are preferred cards. Right now, if you have over a 580 credit score and you have no credit cards at all, you can go ahead and get a Capital One Platinum or a Capital One Quicksilver card and start your credit profile. Right now, if you have over a 580 credit score and you have no credit cards at all, right, you can get it. Or if you have bad credit and you're trying to go in and rebuild your credit, then you could go ahead and get a Capital One card. They probably start you off with a $300, $500 limit and you use it, okay? So that's one card that you could get right now if you're trying to go ahead and start building your credit. Another thing that you can do, I got a link for like 3-4 of these things on this list, but self-lender. Let's talk about self-lenders real quick. You've probably seen this, scroll past it on Instagram, whatever the case may be, but what self-lender does is they're basically a credit builder, but they're a savings account as well. Because what happens is when you pay self-lenders, right? When you pay self-lenders every month, I think you pay them like maybe, if I'm not mistaken, probably like $20, or you could choose how much you want to pay them every month. They're gonna report an installment loan onto your account, which is good, y'all. Remember, we want 2 types of accounts on our credit profile: installment and revolving. If you somebody right now who don't have no credit, right, self-lender is gonna report an installment loan onto your account, and it's gonna report that you've been having good payment history because you've been paying the $30 every month. So now you get that good payment history, and you get that loan, that installment loan on there. And you could cancel that at any time. But let's say you paid them for the whole year. When your year up, they go ahead and give you all the money that you've been paying to them. So if you end up dumping $1,200 into them and they've been building your credit for the year, then guess what? At the end of the year, now you get that $1,200 back and you got a good credit profile. That's self-lender. Another one is called Credit Strong, right? Credit Strong. I like them as well, okay? No credit check. You could get basically a secure card. Right? You got to fund it with at least $200. It's your own money, but you treat that just like a credit card. You use the $200, you pay it back. You could put more than $200 on there, right? And like I said, the more you put on there, the bigger it looks like you have the bigger the credit line looks on your profile. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you put $1,000 or $500 into a secure card. Now that $500 limit is going to show on your credit profile, which is good. You like that. Right? If you put 1,000, that $1,000 line is going to show your credit profile, which is good. We want that, right? And remember, the higher the limits, right, the more flexible we are with the utilization. We like that, okay? And another thing why that's good is when you go apply to different, banks or try to get different credit cards, when they look at your credit profile, now they're going to say this. They're going to say, hey, look, Josh got $1,000 credit line, right? I think that he can handle $1,500. I think he can handle $2,000. In comparison, if you only put $300 in there, and it's okay if you can't put $1,000 in there, right? Because there's different ways to up your credit score. This is not all the end all be all. I'm just giving you examples, right? In comparison to somebody puts maybe 300 in there, and now you ask her for 2,000, 3,000, but they never seen you handle 2,000 and 3,000. They only seen you handle 300. So it was just something to think about. All right. Then, oh, this is good. I got something for the low right now, where anybody who don't got no credit, or even if you had credit, okay, even if you had credit, but your history is low, right? This is, oh man, I'm about to give y'all some sauce. Y'all want to hear another way how you could get paid? Y'all want to hear another one? Y'all want to get who? Anybody live with their mom? Anybody mom own a house on this call? Anybody mama own a house? I'm about to get your mom paid. Anybody? Anybody know a cousin, an auntie that own a house? Your daddy own a house? Anybody? Anybody? And you know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy? Not enough of us said yes. So that tells me that we gotta change shit. But anyway, all of the people who say yes, y'all parents could get paid. Okay, this is how your parents could get paid. This is how you could get your parents paid. It's something that's called rental karma, and it's something that's called rent reporters. So if you've been paying rent on time, good payment history, you can go ahead and have your rental history reflect on your credit profile. Okay, this is how you do it. You sign up with rental reporters. I think you pay them like $90. They report up to 5 years of history to your profile. What I just told y'all, the minimum amount of years for a solid profile is. I'm giving you the play right now, right? So you get that, okay? It's gonna reflect on you, but then it's gonna show up to 2 years of payment history. So it's gonna put 5 years of age on that shit, but then it's gonna give you 2 years of good ass payment history. Your score is gonna shoot. Bing bong, it's gonna shoot. But this is how you get your parents paid, right? Let's say your mom or your dad or your uncle has a 3-bedroom apartment or house, or 4 bedrooms. I don't know. Let's say 3 bed. If you have somebody, right? If you have somebody right now, okay, that wants to build their credit, you can tell them, hey, look, I can boost your score up right now. I got a room that you could say you've been renting, and all my mom got to do is say, yeah, you was renting from her. You charge this individual $1,000 or $500 just so your mama can say that they live there. It's that easy. Everything we do, we want to make money. You got to learn how to go ahead and get like a financial strategist, dead ass. Like you got to learn how to play these games. Now, let's say if your mom got a 3-bedroom house, of course she's sleeping in one, right? Of course you probably sleeping in one, but boom, that extra room right there. Man, they don't even gotta know. Honestly, let's say that shit, 2 people need, that's 2 bands that you could get paid off of just people who need to say that, they slept in that crib during that time frame. That's easy. That's easy bread. If you own a house, you could get paid for that. Easy bread, right? But boom, that's rent reporters right there. Again, I got a link for that, for the low for y'all, right? I think the original price was like $90 to do. I think the link that I got is like $56 or something like that. I could shoot that out to y'all too if y'all need that. First Premier is another one. Credit One, but Credit One is cool, but ain't something I really want to lean towards. Capital One is Gucci. Open Sky is a good one too, right? Open Sky is definitely a good one. Secure cards with a local credit union. Yo, credit union is my best friend. I love credit unions. All right. So with these level 1 starter cards, you only want to have 1 to 2 starter cards. Okay. You don't want to have all 10 of these. This just gives you open variety for what you want to do. You want to have 1 or 2. Reason being, you don't want to fill up your credit profile with a whole bunch of little guys. Feel me? Then when the credit bureaus look at your profile, they like, yo, he got 5 cars that got $300 limits. Like, what is he doing? Right? You want to work you want to work at least 2 of them. Work the 2 of them, build them up. Trust me, it's going to help your profile out. All right. We want to get, credit, these cards report to all three. So we Gucci, but recommended reporting to all three bureaus because you want to build up your trends, you want to build up your Equifax, you want to build up your experience. It's like going to the gym. You ain't doing, bicep curls on just your left arm, are you? Right? And shoot, I know some people go to the gym and they don't work out their legs, but you need to. Feel me? How you feel about the Chime credit card? Oh yeah, Chime credit card definitely lit. Definitely lit. The Chime secure card. Yeah, that thing lit too. Y'all can definitely do the Chime starter card too. Chime starter card is definitely lit too. All right. So now, after we go ahead and work those cards for about a month or two, now we come to step two. Now we moving up. Okay. Now we moving up. Now we moving the cars that's giving us 1,000 to about 4,500. Okay. Your credit is to the point where it's healthy, but it's still a little bit too thin. So now we want to go ahead and up it a little bit. Okay. These cards are cool too, right? Discover the IT card. I know people who got that card that with like 3 bands on there. Capital One Quicksilver or the Capital One Platinum, right? I got the Platinum one. Like I said, they'll up your limit and they'll do it by themselves. I remember having $500 in my Capital One, then going back the next probably like a couple of days and looking at it, and I had like 2,500 in there. They be upping it by themselves as long as you're paying for them. The City Double Cash card is definitely good too. Right, Avant card is good too. So, like I said, if you got them credit unions, those are straight too, right? I love Navy Federal. I love Penn Fed. I love Alliant. I got North Jersey Federal Credit Union. Police and Fire is good credit union, right? The credit unions that surround you, Alliant is good. All of them, they straight. They straight. Okay, so the credit unions definitely want to get in there with a credit union too. But when we in here, when we going up to level 2, you want to go ahead and apply for one level 2 card and use it. So after we go from level 1, we got 2 accounts reporting. Then we go ahead and add on a level 2 card that's giving us more capital. Okay, and you use that thing. You get the points from there. You get the bonuses, all that good stuff, and you use it. You milk it, right? You pay it on time. You don't miss nothing, right? You use that card for another. It got 3 to 4 months. It could be accurate, but let's say 2-3 months. Boom. Now we go up to here. It's more your speed. All right. There's definitely more your speed, right? Y'all see them numbers now. Now we level 3. Okay. This anywhere between 5 to 10 bands on the credit line. Okay. These cards is lit. You got Chase on here. Chase Freedom is lit. Chase Sapphire is definitely lit. Blue Cash Everyday American Express. I got that one right now. Wells Fargo lit. American Express Blue Cash lit. Wells Fargo Platinum card. Care Credit Navy Federal. Give y'all to play with Navy Federal. If you got 2 age primaries, meaning that you got 2 cards that is primarily your cards and not trade lines, and you get a 1 age authorized user on there, you get up to $10,000 with Navy Federal on the first try. Right? They're giving out them bands. Credit limits, give out them bands. Okay? Credit limits, give out the bands. Good question. What if you already have some of those cards, but the limit ain't at there? So if you got these cards already, you want to make sure that you've been paying them down to 0. Then what you want to do, give y'all some sauce, you want to call the credit card company. So let's just use which one you got? It don't matter. Let's just say you got a Chase card. Cool. Right? But the Chase card only gives you $1,000. I want to make sure before I call Chase that I've been paying this card down and my payment history is good on there. When I call them, I'm going to call them like this. Hey, how you doing? I've been a loyal customer. I'm just calling because I love the service that I've been getting from you guys. But I also just been offered, a higher limit from my American Express card. I like what they got going over there, but I'm more comfortable with working with you guys. I'm just asking if we could go ahead and raise my limit that I have from the $1,000 to at least, full $5,000. What you want to do, shoot for the goddamn stars, right? Shoot for the stars. But when they ask you how much you want to raise your limit to, shoot for the stars. Don't hurt yourself, right? Don't limit yourself for how much money you asking for. No. You give them the number and you let them come down on you, right? Because shit, you might shoot for 10 and they give you 10. But if you only shot for 3, they going, all right, we'll move it up to 3. That ain't no problem. So shoot for the stars with it, right? That's how you do it. So that's the easiest way to go ahead and up your limits on there. All right. After we go ahead and get one of these cards, we're gonna apply for one level 2. My bad. We're gonna apply for at least, I'm gonna say 2. We're gonna want 2 of these, 2 level 3 cards. All right. I got something here that says Chase automatically denies most applicants who have 5 new credit accounts within the past 24 months. Apply for Chase in the beginning. This is very, very important. If you want Chase credit cards, because they give out some good points, whether it's traveling, regular reward points, they give out some good stuff. You want to apply for Chase in the beginning of your journey, right? Because they got a rule where you can't get, if you got up to 5 accounts in the 2-year span, the 24 months, that you can't apply for and whatnot, right? It's some other rule that they got too, and it's less than 24 months. I forgot the terms of it, so I'm not going to give y'all something that I'm not 100% sure, but I am 100% sure about this, okay? But you want to get Chase in the beginning, all right? But good payment history and low utilization can lead to automatic increases. Remember, I told y'all, I remember having a $500 account on Capital One, went back again, now I had a $2,500 on there, right? So it worked, all right? So boom, all right, so boom. The last one, and I forgot to put it on there, it was step 4, and that was your balling stage. That's your American Express, your Barclays cards, your Avant cards. They give you around 50K on there, right? But you running this play alone, right? You running this play alone, you'll be able to get up to 20K in credit. It's easy. And you can speed this process up too by acquiring trade lines and getting the authorized users. They are shortcuts for you. But remember this, y'all. You only want to get trade lines and pay for them after your credit profile is cleaned up. So if you got collections or whatnot, and your credit score is a little low, and you're trying to increase it with a trade line, that's like putting deodorant on somebody that stink out the gym. So you want to clean up, shower yourself up, make sure it's all Gucci, and then add the trade line on there. Make sense? So boom, we got I think we're coming to the end of this. Yeah. Okay, boom. Yeah, so this is the last little bit of it. We got types of credit. So when I'm talking to people and we clean up their credit and we get into the final stages before I let them off and spread their wings, I always ask them, what do you want to do with your credit, right? Or what type of cars do you want? What type of person are you? If I got somebody who wants to travel a lot, right, then I go for cars that got travel points. Okay, for example, all right, there's a Barclays card. The Avant card is connected with American Airlines. They give you $60,000 sign-on bonus with it, as long as you spend $1. So that's a good travel rewards card. You need over a 680 credit score to get that on the personal side. So they give you 60,000 reward points. That's a couple different trips right there. Okay, that's on American Airlines, the Avant card. Okay, so that's travel reward cards. You go ahead and get points, and these points, when you're using the card, the points, they go and cover flights and hotels. All right. Another card that you have, and these ones always lit, cashback cards. Cashback cards is like how I got with my Chase card, right? When I told you I just paid for Christmas and paid for the credit card itself and the usage that I had on there, because I was using the card and it gave me back cash back for everything. So you earn a percentage. You might see 2% cash back, 1% cash back, 3% cash back, 5% cash back, right? That's how you do it. Competitive cards give you low interest rates, usually the credit unions for that one. And then lastly, you got the rewards credit cards. They very versatile. You could use the reward points for everything. All right. So there's some good stuff for y'all right here. You never want to apply to any type of credit card or loan without seeing if you pre-qualified for that thing first. And again, it's a soft inquiry when you pre-qualify, meaning that it won't show up on your credit profile. When you go through and actually apply for the card, then it'll be hard. But you can see what you are offered from pre-qualifying. That's how you never fuck up, basically, right? I'm gonna have to bleep that out. But so for Capital One, we talked about this. So for Capital One, Quicksilver or Platinum, they pull from Experian. So you want to make sure that your Experian has over a 580 credit score to get inside of this Capital One Quicksilver or the Platinum. All right. So for the Quicksilver, you earn 1.5% cash back on every purchase, right? Every day. Get access to a higher credit line after making your first 5 monthly payments on time. So for anybody asking how I get an increase, well, that's how you go and get it. 5 monthly payments on time, you go ahead and increase your credit score. You get 1.5 cash back. So this is a cash back card, right? But this is also a builder card too, because you only need a 580 credit score. For American Express, charge or credit cards, they pull from Experian. So we want to make sure when we apply for the American Express cards that we have over 700, at least 700 for our Experian. Now, some cards may vary in scores because right now, American Express and Navy Federal actually have a card together. It's actually cool, but you only need a 680 to get in there. All right. But generally, we want over 700 for American Express cards, and they pulling from Experian. I threw a travel one in there for y'all. Delta Sky Miles is a gold Amex. It's a personal card. You need a 660 credit score for a $5,000 limit for this card. All right, so there you go. You got some air miles in there. Is it possible to get off someone's credit line when you get to this point? Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could definitely get off of somebody from piggybacking on there. You just tell them take you off as an authorized user, like you don't want to be on there no more. Yep. Capital One Venture cards, personal, right? So this pulls from Experian and TransUnion. Okay. Requirements: you need a 680 credit score, right? Plus $5,000 in credit limit on a credit profile. Okay. So they want to see you have a 680 score and you at least got $5,000 in credit lines on your report or your profile to go ahead and get this Capital One Venture. But the perks of this is you earn 20,000 mile sign up bonus. So as soon as you sign up, you go ahead and you earn $20,000, 20,000 miles, right? That's worth $200. That could be a little ticket to a flight somewhere. Now you're flying for free just because you got the card. It's perks of these cards, yo, right? You earn a 20,000 sign up bonus once you spend $1,000 a purchase within 3 months from opening account. Cool. All right. Give you some more for Chase. The Chase Ink card. All right. Requirements: 720 credit score. Right. On a $15,000 limit. Some big boy shit right there. That's what y'all want. Chase Sapphire card. Preferred. Right. Requirements: 720 score for an $18,000 limit. That's what the hell we want. Chase Southwest card, 750 score on a $3,500 limit. We want that. City Double Cash, right? Or City Thank You Premier. They pull from Experian, right? Requirements: 720 score on a $6,800 limit. Barclays card, Barclays View MasterCard. Requirements: 720 credit score on a $3,500 limit. Okay. Barclays is lit. Navy Federal, okay, they pull from Equifax and TransUnion. And I threw a little car one in there for BMWs. For BMW, all right, BMW pulls from Experian Credit Bureau. They want to see you at least have a 695 on a $50,000 lease. All right. So those some things right there. I don't know if y'all want to screenshot that for yourselves. Like I said, I got way more than that. These are just some of the things that I've been able to go ahead and come in contact with, and chopping up with people who actually been in the game for a while, man. And I got some great mentorship, yo. And the shit lit. So hey, we at the end of this, but I definitely want to go ahead and open up to you guys and allow you guys to take the floor. I know we just went crazy with a lot of stuff. And allow you guys to actually ask any questions that you guys have pertaining to any of the information, man. So let me see. Y'all should be able to unmute yourselves and ask anything. So whoever got any questions, anything, you could definitely go ahead and unmute yourself. Let me see. Y'all should be straight.
Bro, so what steps, like credit-wise, should you take before like looking to get a apartment?
All right. So I mean, apartment's pretty simple. Some apartments I know they only pull from, they do soft pulls anyway. So it ain't gonna show all the way on your. It ain't gonna show on your score. It shouldn't. But you want to make sure that if you had any evictions, to make sure that they not on there because they might be on LexisNexis. So there's a way that you could look up. You could get a copy of your LexisNexis credit profile and see what's on there. If you have any evictions, if you don't have no evictions, you straight just start building up your credit. Honestly, some apartments be letting you get in there with freaking 600 scores. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I seen people get in with 600s. They be pulling strings for people. So you'll be straight for apartment, bro.
Bet. Good luck.
No problem, bro. Anybody else? Talk to me. I know we just went over mad stuff, man. For sure.
So I know you was giving game about LLCs and stuff like that. How, like, say if I live in Mass, so should we space out the LLCs, or can we just say if I like did one and then did another one, should it be like time between them, or?
Nah, bro. Nah, you could form LLCs whenever you want. Like you could walk through. You could form an LLC. That's today. Then you can make another one tomorrow. Then another one tomorrow. There's no time on that at all.
Let's say that. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Hey, yo, Haggy.
What's up, my guy?
Yeah. What's going on? I had this question up while you was talking, and you just kind of brought it back up about LLCs. And I'm pretty sure you've heard from different sides as well how when you have an LLC or a business account, they typically give you, more a higher credit limit off bat than just, getting with personal credit. And I'm pretty sure this is an entirely different call in terms of, setting up and propping up LLCs. So just my kind of like question more or less is, for people that hear that type of stuff that, you can get a higher credit limit with LLCs, but then, like I said, that's a whole nother game and another thing. What's kind of advice you would pour into that? Because I'm pretty sure, because like I said, some people hear that and then boom, they're just gonna create an LLC just because of that. But but with you having your LLC and things of that nature, I don't know how you might look at that. Like, I hope I'm making sense.
Right. So basically, you're saying people hear, you get 10 times as much money if you go form an LLC, and they form an LLC and they looking for the bread off rip type shit. That's what you're asking?
Yeah. So like, what's some advice? Because I don't even know if that sounds like a good idea, but like I said, All
right. So that's why I did this call, so that we could get our understanding of personal credit first.
Right.
Because that's why I fix people credit on the personal side. So if you're looking to go and do that, I would say, let's get together, let's fix up your personal side. But because when you go apply for business credit, they're going to do something that's called a PG, stands for a personal guarantor. They're just going to peek at your credit to see if you got over a 690, sometimes 700, right? So you want to make sure that personal side is good simultaneously as you're building up the business, because to build business credit, it's probably going to take you, if you move with it fast, accelerating it, probably like 2 to 3 months you could build up business credit. Because we just want to go through a couple different steps of getting things to actually report to our business credit, right? So for somebody who just starts an LLC, I want you to treat your LLC like if that was your son or that was your daughter. You got a son or daughter, they don't have no credit. So now you got to do steps to get things to actually report and stick to that credit profile. And you work your way up through tiers. It's tiers to business credit, right? So you don't just go and, I need this from me. You go, you get some vendors showing in there. Then you get some store cards. And then you go get the big bucks. So that's how you do it. And again, I coach people on that joint as well too. I do it all, bro.
Yes, sir. But appreciate it.
No problem, my guy. Definitely got let me see.
Okay, I got one more question. What's good?
Y'all can have the questions coming through, man. I'm with y'all.
But yeah, first off, like, I like to appreciate, like, I show my appreciation. This was really dope. Love the course. I learned so much. I'm taking hella notes right now. And this is stuff that I ain't never learned. I'm about to be 31 and I'm just learning all of this really for the first time. But one of my questions is, would you recommend paying off any any cards that may have not gone into collections, like what would you feel is like the first step of like cleaning it up? Do you even focus on it? I heard a lot of people say, don't even worry about it. You can just take it off or whatever the case may be. But would you recommend doing it like that, or would you just recommend like, all right, like just pay it off, whatever's not in collections yet, and then just build up from there? What would you recommend to be the first move?
Right. So that's actually a good question. Just so y'all understand what she's asking, she's saying basically I got a card. Maybe I owe some bread on there. Maybe it got late payments, whatever case may be. What do I do with it? Do I pay the card all the way off and keep it from not going to collections, or do I go ahead and just delete it? Now, the question that what I do is I look at the card and I see how much history is in there, because we could get the card removed from your profile. Because like I said, it's laws that show that you gotta there's not supposed to be no transactions on a consumer report without your written consent to actually show on your report. So I can get the accounts taken off on there, right? But if there's also late payments on there, I can get the late payments removed, right? And we could keep all that history on there, and then we could just pay the card down from the utilization, and now you got a good card, good payment history. So I usually consult with the individual. I'll actually look, we can go this way, because if I take the card off, then I'm cutting all them years off. So let's say you had a card with 2 years on there. If I take that card off, now I'm cutting 2 years of history off of your profile. Now your score might drop a little bit, but we can always build it back up. It's just going to take time. So it's about what that person actually wants to do in that time span. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, most definitely answered it. Now, hold on. I had another question that just came to mind from that question that you just said. It'll come back to me, and I'll hop back in.
No problem. Yeah, I love the questions.
I'll let him go.
So look, from step 1, from you getting the secured card, to step 3, from you getting that 5,000 to 10,000 credit card, how long of a time frame would you say that those steps take?
All right, so because we wanted to report for a little bit. So step 1, I get it and I pay on it, right? So probably be, let's say 2 to 3 months. So let's say 2 months, I get phase 1, 2 months is reporting. Cool, I'm good. Now I'm Gucci to go ahead and get phase 2, another 2 months. So it's January about to come up. That means right now, if you take action from December to around January into February, we straight. That means at the beginning of March, you should be on cards. You should be on step 2 at around $1,000 to $5,000. That means cool. I pay on those, right? March, April. Let's say by May time come, you should be on step 3. Now you should be having 5 to 10 bands and limits. Now you in position, bro, because let's say, boom, March come around or May come around. That means you got the whole summer. Now you in prime time position to do some shit in the summertime. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this stuff gotta happen now. Like, you could dead serious get yourself in position. And if your credit profile have things that you need to fix, the timetable actually, like, we need to start doing that joint now too. Like, we got to remove collections, late payments. Like, we need to do it now because it's going to be a timetable for what it takes for you to naturally grow your account up, or we can pay for a trade line, but we still got to go ahead and dispute the things and get them removed from your account. So that's what, there we go.
Anybody up next?
Yeah. It's me again, bro. So you spoke on it a little bit, or mentioned it, about how one of the cards, you more or less just kind of use it for just kind of like paying off your phone bill. And I know you kind of spoke that in terms of, at least the position that pretty sure a lot of us in, where we're really just setting the foundation of our credit. I forgot what exactly card it.
Secure card.
Huh?
Like a secure card?
No, but that other word you talk about when it comes to us building that foundation, a starter card.
Yeah, starter card. Yeah.
So like, kind of talk on that learning that discipline when it comes to like, okay, I'm getting my first credit card. I'm getting my first 2 credit cards, and kind of sticking to a reason or sticking to a plan in terms of like, I'm only using this card for this. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially on low. And I see your face because you've seen it and you heard it before. So just kind of like talk about how developing that discipline to be like, okay, whether it's a Capital One or whatever low limit credit limit we get, just learning how to stick to something so that we can learn how to pay it off, you know?
Right. I think that's very important. You know, I was chopping up with a couple of you guys before we even got on this call and just hearing some of the stories about how, you know, we had cars and we did wrong by, you know, it's not our fault. We was young and things like that. So I think the biggest thing is like, I'm not spending more on this card than I got in my bank account. So sometimes you might get a card that gives you $5,000, but you don't have $5,000 in your bank account. So I'm not going to use all that 5,000. I'm only going to use what I actually have or what I'm actually getting paid for my job. So when I started off, it's actually cool that they only give you, you know, $500 or so, because you can manage that, right? If you getting paid every week, every 2 weeks, 1,100, or every week it's $800 from your job, you use the debit card, you use the credit card, and then when that check comes, I just pay it right back. And it's gonna be like clockwork, but you got to get into a rhythm with that, you know, every week or whenever you're using it, and it's gonna feel good for yourself. And you're gonna start to see, yo, they increasing my account. But it's good to do that in the beginning and pay it, because as we start to go ahead and build and we become more responsible with things, right? We got more money to actually play with. Because when we go on this business side, and you really running plays, for example, this Airbnb, I got a $10,000 card. This Airbnb cost me $5 to get the Airbnb and furnish all this stuff in here. It was $5. Now this Airbnb is getting listed tonight. I just got the cameraman to come tonight, took pictures, boom, boom. But this Airbnb is now gonna, I think the rent for this is $1,100. I'm in Philly, is $1,150. I'm looking to go ahead and with this Airbnb, I'm going to charge, I did the math, 105 a night. I looked in the area because you need to do research. I looked in the area, these B&Bs be having anywhere between 85% to around, 95%, occupancy rate. So I'm going to take the low end. I'll take the 85%. So that means that my Airbnb is going to get booked at least 25, 24 days. So I'll do 105 times 25. That means that that's 26, 25 that's coming, right? Minus the 1,100 for the rent. I'm gonna be cleaning in here now for the time being because I live around here. I could have cleaning company come, but I want to keep my overheads low. So I hire my brothers, right? Family members, we come in here and we clean up together. So I don't got to pay a cleaning company. That's $1,525 in profit. I took $5,000 from the card. And the good thing about the business cards is they 0% APY. So that means I'm not getting hit over my head with interest every single month. Now I got $1,500, right? I'll take $1,000 of that $1,525 and just pay the card back. But I'm okay with doing that, and it's routine with me because I've been doing that since I had a little $300, $500 card. But now I'm on a big boy scale now. I'll pay the card back in 5 months, and this Airbnb was free. That's what we want to start to get into. We start training our mind, and it starts from what you do when you got the little card. That's why it's important for you to have that limit and work that limit. Work the $500, work the $300 because you training yourself right now. Because it's going to be a point in time, you stick with this, you're going to have big boy limits. Talking about $50,000, $100,000 cars, loans they giving you for $30,000, $40,000. And you just got to learn how to go ahead and let that be what's going to go ahead and fuel you. Hustle off the credit and let the credit pay for everything. And now you come out of your pocket zero money, man. It's just a play, man. It's just a play. But that was a good question, bro.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How long does it take for the inquiries to fall off your credit report?
So it's a couple, like honestly, I know a 24-hour rule. Like you call them up, say you ain't do it, it's identity theft. You file the FTC report, they fall off the next business day. You could get it done in 24 hours, right? You could get it done in the 30-day, window, but it's different ways that you could get things off.
Okay. Oh, by the way, how you been, man?
Bro, I've been good, man. Been good. Just
And that's good. That's good. Blessed. Staying blessed. I see you.
Mhm.
Another question. I have a timeshare right down in Orlando.
Okay.
Can I use that as a Airbnb or
Hell
no?
yeah.
Oh,
Hell
okay.
yeah. Hell, man. Where you
Because I
at?
have 4 rooms down there.
Sheesh. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
I've been meaning to get up with you, but I just been working like crazy because it's Christmas time around here. You know what I mean? I've been kicking in 12 hours a day.
Facts, bro. You need to run and play with that in Orlando. That's a tourist spot. They don't stop going down there.
Right.
You know how many times I went to Orlando for Forex?
Yeah, I've been seeing.
No, I damn near lived in Orlando. No cap. Yeah, man, for sure, bro. Like, yeah, we could definitely chop it up. See, what the
No doubt.
area is doing, how much other people, doing the B&B around here. Get somebody to stage it for you. If you probably got furniture in there already.
Yeah, it's lit. It's already furnished and everything.
Come on, Tommy. Come on, man.
I've
Come
been meaning to
on.
get with you, man. We gonna get up. I'm gonna hit you, man.
For
Like once
sure.
this rush is over, which it should be over next week, and then
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit you up.
I bet.
Appreciate it.
No problem, my guy. Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes.
All right,
I
one more
had
question. One more question. One more question. All right, so basically, now say you got a card, that is in collections, but
Okay.
you had it like prior to it being in collections, you had it for like 5, 6 years. Is there a way to get that back, or like how?
Nah, they closed that shit. So now we gotta fight the collections and we get the collections taken off.
All right, but would you be able to apply for that same card again, or how would that
Yeah,
work?
after you go ahead and remove it, you'll be able to go ahead and apply for it again. And it's laws basically stating that they can't ban you from applying for it either. So if they do ban you, then you charge their ass $1,000 for damages.
Copy.
It's up. It's up.
all right, bet I got two. One question on business credit. So if you have an LLC, right, and like you got some money flowing through it,
Right.
what would be the first step as far as business credit? Because I know it's kind of different with personal credit.
Okay, so if you got the LLC already popping, now we need to go ahead. Well, this is the first thing we need to do. If you got the LLC, we need to make sure that it's structured correctly. This is where people be messing up at. So you need to make sure that you got a business address, you got the logo, you got a business merchant, you got a business email, you got a domain, right? You got the business bank account, cool. There's money flowing through there, good. Do we got a website, right?
Mhm.
Do we got a Dun and Bradstreet number, right? All of those type of things. We got vendors reporting to them. So that's the steps that we actually got to take. I mean, we could hop on a one-on-one. Definitely help you out with that, John. Super.
All right, bet.
No problem.
Oh, and my second one was so if you have a student loan,
Mhm.
like if you're paying it every month,
Mhm.
does that report to the 3 credit bureaus or no?
Yeah, it definitely reports to them. Yeah, for sure. Them things report. Yeah.
All right, so that could build your credit.
Yeah, it does. That's usually when I talk to people who don't got no credit and they be like, yo, I just got student loans on there. That's all I got on there. So it been showing some type of payment history, but you want to add more than just the student loans on there. That's all. Because the way they look at it, anybody gets student loans. Anybody. So that's how they jump with it.
Okay, good looks.
No problem. Where I'm rocking with the questions, man. Y'all definitely litty. So I don't know if it's any more, but just to answer the question to Devon, we could definitely get in tune. I'm text you over my number. If any of y'all need anything, we gotta look at anything credit wise, business credit wise. There's my number. It's 973-851-1078. That's my number. Y'all got my Instagrams. Shit, let's get to work, man. Let's get to work. So this was lit. Y'all forever gonna go down in history from this call. My first ever one, right? Next year around this time, when we sitting up in fucking mansions and shit, we're gonna say, y'all was the first ever call that I did with this. It's going inside of my course. It's lit. Shout out to y'all. And I'm keeping the questions because I know people gonna have some of these same questions that y'all got too. So I definitely appreciate y'all. And like I said, if y'all need some of the rent reporters, self lenders, any of that good stuff, hit me up. I got the links for y'all. And shoot, man, we'll be getting to work, bro. We'll be getting to work. So, like I said, if y'all need help building your credit, if y'all need credit repair, anything like that, let's get to work. I'm doing it for the low. I'm not taxing. Let's go. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Shoot, what time is it? It's almost Christmas time, man. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, man. And shit, man, 2022, we just picking up the speed, man. We just getting started with it. Love y'all. See y'all soon.